made a video about making a high banker with just 2 buckets? Well, today I'm gonna show you how to make one of these things. And we call it the Williams High Banker Bucket Hack. Now, the first thing you're gonna need is 2 5-gallon buckets. Now, keep in mind, these have to be super strong, okay? They can't be the Lowe's buckets or a Home Depot bucket. No, those aren't gonna work. You're gonna need one of the strongest buckets you can get a hold of. And in this case, it's gonna be a paint bucket or a chlorine bucket. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna cut your buckets up. Now, this is really important because you're gonna use every single piece of these 2 buckets to make this high banker. Now, when you get your buckets, make sure you get 1 lid. You only need 1. Now, the first piece we're gonna make is the hopper. And it's the easiest one, but it's gonna require a lot of drilling. I'm gonna get rid of these pesky metal handles. Guess I should be wearing eye protection, huh? All right, now here's the critical part. You're gonna wanna cut about 1/3 of this bucket off, but it's really important where you cut it. Right up here along the top, like such, and then along the side here, up to the corner. Like I said, you're taking off about 1/3. Now in the back, instead of a straight line across, it's gonna have kind of a curve to it, like this. See that? Now you want this half moon shape on the back. That's really important later on. Walk. Walk. You can use a saw, but if you got one of these, it's gonna make your job so much easier. Nice. And that's gonna be your hopper. Don't throw this piece away because you're gonna need this later. You're gonna create a boil box back here. So about 3 inches back, you're gonna leave this open. And then you're gonna drill a zillion holes in this thing. And that is gonna act as your classifier. Classifier. So use a 1/2-inch bit and drill about 20, 30 holes in there, okay? You can drill small holes, big holes, all the way across there. Just make a good classifier for that material to flow through and get classified. And when you're drilling, don't put your hand on the backside like this, okay? Yeah! It don't have to be fancy, obviously. Ah!
It's in my table.
Sorry. Gold mine to make a crazy man out of you. When you're done, it should look something like that. See how I've got a pattern here? And you can make it bigger and more holes in there, but the idea is you want a little boil zone in the back there for the material to break up. And you cannot have this any closer than 5, maybe 6 inches from the lip, because if you do, it's gonna bypass the next thing that you're gonna build, and then it won't work. So remember not to drill your holes any further than about 5 inches from the lip. Very important. Once you're done with the hopper, you can start working on the apron. This is the thing that's actually going to collect everything that was classified through the hopper that you just made. And it's really, really easy, and I'll show you how to map this out. But it's critical it's done right, because if not, it's not gonna work. Now on your second bucket, all you're gonna do is you're gonna cut almost the same type of 1/3 off the top. You see this? Except it's gonna go all the way to the top. Mark it out. Now on the back, you want about 2.5 inches. Very important, it's about that wide. So you just cut this off.
I am the cream of the crop.
Now, don't throw this piece away, because, yeah, you're going to need that one, too. That's boring. I'm not watching this video. Now, once you get this thing cut, level it out, turn it around, and draw a line that goes below the center point, right below where you cut this guy. I don't know, maybe about 2 inches, because this is going to be your pivot mark, okay? You don't want it right in the middle. You want it just below the middle. So you're going to cut this hole out, and this hole has to be the same size as this pipe, because it's gonna go right on through to the other side, brother. So make sure it's not too big or too small, but it has to be the same diameter as the pipe that you're using to build the frame. That way it can pivot. It's very important. And I'll show you what I got. I got my hole cut in there. Now the neat thing is if you don't have a hole saw, you can drill a bunch of holes in there with your drill and then use a Dremel to round it out. These are fantastic and they work beautifully with plastic. And you see how that fits in there? This is gonna act as your pivot. See that? That's how it's going to work. So that's why it has between the top of this all has to be level. Do you see how this line is level with the top of this? That's very important. Now you're gonna take the lid and this is gonna act as your nugget trap. So all you have to do is draw a smiley face. See that? Yeah, and then a hole up there in case you want to put your pump through there. This is the part you're gonna cut out. So all this is gonna go away. And when you're done, it should look like this. This is gonna be your nugget trap right here. It's gonna catch all those big pieces of gold that couldn't go through the classifier, but you don't want running over the edge. All right, now the stand is really, really easy, but there's a few things you have to know about it. Is the height of this and the height of this, because this is where your hopper and your apron are gonna rest on. So the distance has to be comparable to the holes that you got with the length of the 5-gallon bucket. You see how that works? So the idea is you want this lip to be resting on this crossbar. You see that? Now the way that you're going to get the classifier to sit in there is you're gonna have to drill 3 holes. One here, and one here. So you slide this guy inside, and this hole has to go through the very back of that guy. This hole has to go through this guy, and this hole has to go through into this. And now you see why we have a slight oval to our cut, because this is gonna sit back in here while these are all flush. The cuts on both buckets should be in the same place. You see that? And you're gonna run little screws through these to hold it in place. Now when you're done, it should look like this, a single unit. This lip here has to sit in here. See that? See how that makes it nice and rigid by sitting in there? And that makes it super durable and strong, because all the weight from all the material you're putting in here is gonna push down on here, and that's gonna push down on here, and that is gonna push down on this crossbar. Do you see how that works? Pretty cool. And you want it flexible enough so that you can get your outdoor carpet in there. Like this right here. It just slides in and out. And you wanna push it all the way to the very back, because that edge of the 5-gallon bucket's gonna actually push down on it, so it doesn't wanna slide out. So when there's pressure on it, you see that? It doesn't wanna come out. And that's important, because you don't wanna be shoveling a bunch of dirt in and then have your carpet run right out the back. And when it's all together, you should have a little tiny gap here, about maybe 2.5 inches. Just enough for that classified material to drop out onto that outdoor carpet right there. Now remember the nugget trap? Yeah, all you do is you just put it right on the front there, like such. This hole's on the very top, and you just push it on. Make sure it's on tight. Oh, you're almost there. Now take the piece that you trimmed off one of those buckets that doesn't have the edge on it, and you're gonna use this as a funnel, and it's gonna collect everything that comes out the bottom here to run into your poop chute. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna find the halfway point on here, an inch down, and cut a hole here on one side and a hole on the other. It should look something like this, and you're gonna fold it together to create that funnel. So you take off your crossbar and you slide it on just like that. Now to create the funnel effect, you're gonna drill 2 little holes, one here, and you're gonna bolt them together to create your funnel. Isn't that cool? And use fender washers. Just like that. And now you got a funnel. And this part here on the lip can sit on top of your funnel. So when the hopper slides down, this lip here, which is your nugget trap, is actually going to catch here, the top of the funnel. You see that? And that way you've got enough room for the material to come out and down without sloshing out. You see how that works? Now you should only have one piece left, and it's this one. It still has the edge of the 5-gallon bucket on it. You see that? What you're gonna do with that is you're gonna drill 2 holes on it, and it's gonna act as a chute to get the material to go out. So you just drill the holes through here, and then that way it fits in there, and you can get the material to go into a tub or what have you if you're running a recirculation system. So when you got it attached, it should look like this. See how that works? Now the last piece of the puzzle is the poop chute. That's right. This is where all the magic happens. I already made a video on how to make one of these boogers, and if you want to watch that, I'm gonna leave a link, I don't know, somewhere. Now on a quick side note with these poop tube sluices is that take some sandpaper and sand out the very middle of these grooves. That way it'll catch even the finest of gold. But these things work great, and you can make them for under 20 bucks. Now there's different ways that you can attach the poop tube sluice to the bottom of your funnel. But the easiest way that we found is that if you just wire it in place with some just common baling wire. And the reason why is because when you go to take the thing off, it's so easy. Now you could use bungee cords or zip ties or anything like that. You just just want to keep it up inside of this funnel so nothing comes out. And if you position your crossbar just right, you can get your poop tube sluice to sit on it so you can use it to hold it up when you go to pull out your tailings. It's genius! But we want to know what you think. Do you think you can make a better high banker for under 50 bucks? If so, leave us a comment down below in the comment section. Now, the only thing you're missing is an 1100 GPM pump to bring life to it. And that's all you need. And of course, some water. Yeah, you're gonna get wet. And it's super light. I can carry this thing anywhere. Now, make sure that every time you use a high banker, you go over the header pile with a good VLF machine, because there could be some huge nuggets or specimen gold that you missed that just ran off into the tailing pile. And if you want to see more videos of us making backyard inventions to get gold, just watch this video right here, and I'll see you on the next video.